Welcome, everyone. Oh, my goodness, you incredible audience. Taking all in all of the wonderful conversations and information in regards to accountable to apply to your life. And today we have the lovely Lisa Goldenthal, and she is a high performance coach, started in the health and wellness industry, realized how that was affecting and helping everyone in all areas of their lives. And I'm just so happy to get to know her. We've had a beautiful conversation. She's thrilled to share with you all. And I'm going to let and ask you, please, Lisa, introduce yourself more thoroughly, please.
Oh, thanks, Carol. I'm a high performance executive coach with a huge background in health and wellness. Like you said, I was recently named one of the top 15 executive coaches to follow in 2024. International bestselling author. I created the Skinny Jeans workout, and my book was voted best diet book in Los Angeles in 2019. And after it came out, I kind of realized the boss weight loss was sort of a double play on words, because my ideal clients are bosses, because I feel like how you do one thing is how you do anything. And obviously I can't help people that aren't coachable, but people that are routinized and used to doing the things, like you, a successful businesswoman, knows, it is easier to coach someone like you. So today
Mm.
I want to dive into the transformative power of accountability, share my journey from facing significant setbacks and developing the unbreakable boss leadership system that turned my challenges into stepping stones for success.
Beautiful. Okay. Thank goodness, right, y'all, that she introduced herself. Okay. So, Lisa, dive in. I love some of what you shared in your introduction. Tell
Thank
us
you.
about this, how you've overcome some of the challenges, your relationship with accountability, and we can't wait to hear.
Oh, thanks for that question. Taking personal responsibility is about extreme ownership, owning your actions and your outcomes. So when I stopped pointing fingers and started looking within, I gained the power to change my circumstances. And I know you've had a similar journey based on some conversations we had yesterday. For example, I had a rough patch in my relationships, and I too realized that I was a common denominator in all my business and personal setbacks. So embracing accountability allowed me to identify what I needed to change and take actionable steps to improve. And this shift not only transformed my business, but also my personal life. And I just recently got married. So when you hold yourself accountable, you empower yourself to create your own success.
It's the truth. Accountability basically equals freedom. But
Right.
we're not relying on it. Also takes on uh, another, I don't know. Sometimes I embrace it and sometimes I don't want to embrace it. When you take it all on yourself, it's like, oh, here we go. This might be a day that I'm working hard, hopefully working smart. However, the key is it also introduces the question, am I doing what I love?
Yeah.
Or am I just struggling through what I think everybody wants me to do? Do you experience that?
Well, first of all, nobody does it alone. I would just like to interject that. I mean, you don't always feel like doing the things that you said you were going to do for the reasons you said matter. So I will say that once you're led by purpose, and answer your question, then it is easier to just get up out of bed. I get up super early. I'm committed to my morning routine and getting the things done on my top four, the daily dash of definite action steps happening. But I can get caught up. So basically, all top leaders, coaches, and athletes have a coach, because if you're coachable, I can help you. If you're not, I cannot help. So if you really want to take the shortcut to getting the things done that you said matter for the reasons you said matter, which ultimately fuels your purpose with fire, you got to take action.
Oh, yeah. Let me ask you a question. So before you had this great relationship with accountability, what was the turning point for you? And you said, oh, okay, I'm going to take complete ownership and dive into creating this life that does bring you joy.
Pain is one of the biggest motivators there is. You're either motivated by pleasure or pain, but most of us are motivated by pain. And I've hit rock bottom several times. I was 12 years ago in love with the love of my life at the time. And I kept hitting that point where I'm like, why does this keep happening to me again? I keep dating the biggest jerks on the face of this earth.
Oh,
And at
God.
the same time, like we discussed yesterday, I was also the common denominator. So at that point, I was sad. And I saw some patterns from the opposite sex partner in my parents, my dad, and the kinds of guys that I was drawn to. And one of my best friends just happens to be a love coach. So it was then that she took me on and helped me with the personal development aspect, because love coaching, from the way she does it, Jackie Sabrin, was really about me. Who am I being in the world? Holding myself accountable. And
Mm-hmm.
a lot of it is part of the methods that I teach now with the boss method. The first step is really boosting your emotional intelligence. So without EQ, I could be one big huge reaction, lose my favorite client, lose my top client, relationships not working out. So once I can manage my responses rather than reactions to the stimulus that is thrown at me, that's what people remember you. You got to have resilience. You have to have grit. You got to thrive. We've all been through so much trauma collectively in the last 4.5 years. I had to change everything, big, huge pandemic pivot, and I am not alone. Disruptions keep happening. There's all of these things going on, the pandemic, the lockdown, the riots. I was living in LA at the time, right there. And I was just, okay, I live on 4th Street. They are rioting and looting on 4th Street. I'm like, we all went through that together, and the trauma is still there. So really it's about how you respond. And we all have to be extremely gritty and have that resilience.
I couldn't agree more. You really do. And it is about how we respond. There's the power from the stimulus in the pause.
Yes,
The power is in the pause.
absolutely.
And we can count on constant change, constant disruption. So if we stay present, evaluate in the pause what is happening, and then make a thoughtful response, which could be no response at all, which is a response.
That is a response. Yeah, boosting emotional intelligence requires self-awareness. So,
Mhm.
like you said, staying present and sometimes not responding, that can freak people out that are just those narcissistic leaders and men that are just like, my way, you have to do it my way. And that freaks them out if you don't respond, because they kind of want you to take the bait. So
Sure.
you got to have that self-awareness and the willingness to hold yourself accountable for your reactions and interactions. And people will remember. It's like someone's holding a big brick and they throw it at you. You can grab it, think about it, and then respond, or you can throw it right back and react, and that gets you nowhere.
Get you nowhere. And it's interesting when you shared about our being the common denominator and a lot of the trauma in our lives. And we had talked about that parallel. I have to own here for our audience. In Lisa's case, in our conversation, it was whom she was choosing to be with. In my case, it was I was causing the trouble in the relationship. It's very interesting. So it was the other side of that coin. And then to lead us back to what's important is the self-awareness.
Yeah,
And
that's
for
step one.
yes, it doesn't matter which end of the stick you're on, what happens, what age, what it is. It is all about awareness first in order to then make the choice to become accountable and take ownership. And then I like what you said. Coaches need coaches. People that aren't coaches need coaches, our mentors, however anyone wants to embrace that collaboration and leadership to help us out. I had a beautiful conversation yesterday, and you're correct. We are not alone. We can certainly choose to do things alone, but we are not alone. The other thing you brought up was this collective trauma. And
Right.
you are correct. Globally, we went through something together, and I think we always do. However, I do think one of the gifts of the corona, I like to call it,
The Corona coaster.
yeah, is that I think anyone that didn't realize that this is of global importance, what we do individually. I think maybe that helped everyone become aware of this global situation that we are in, and our energy and our choices matter globally. The
Yeah.
butterfly effect, if you will. So I appreciate what you do so much.
Thank you.
You are sharing something so generously with the audience, and I know they're going to see that on all their email information, etc. But do you want to talk a little bit about what you're offering to the audience?
Yeah, what I'm going to be doing is there is a quiz just to see where you are on the spectrum. And thank you for sharing everything with me and on accountability. And personally, I really appreciate the extreme ownership that you took in being brave and sharing the things. So I will get the links for there's going to be some various gifts. So the one of what kind of leader are you? It's like how you do one thing is how you do everything. If you're going to be reactive at work, you're going to be reactive in your family. If you're going to set the pace for leading with accountability, then you're going to set the pace and people will do the same because people watch what you do. They don't watch what you say. So I will leave you with that quiz, and possibly if people upgrade to VIP, there will be some extra bonuses and gifts for me. I promise you that.
Well, there you go. I know that you're heading out back to New York City.
Woo!
I
New
know you're
York.
excited. I'm jealous. I love New York City. However, I bet it's hot because it's hot here in Texas.
Oh my gosh, you're the only one I know who's jealous of me going to New York in the summer, but it's just such a special place to me. It's going to be equally hot here where I live.
Yeah.
So I'll take the humidity and heat to be around my friends and family.
Oh my gosh, have such a safe and wonderful trip. I
Thank you
can't wait
so
till we
much.
get to visit again. And
Let's do it.
you wonderful audience, let's do this. Let's become more and more accountable, make more and more of a positive impact on just really the tiniest details. What we're thinking about, it matters. And thank you again. I mean, Lisa, just way to go, and thank you.
Thanks for having me. Let's do it. Take
I-
extreme ownership, everybody, and write down one thing you're going to do and do that thing.
That's the perfect first step. Thank you, Lisa.
Thanks so much, Carol. This is fun.
Loved it.